In every generation, there comes a mind that doesn't fight battles for glory, but for clarity. A man who commands not with the noise of rage, but with the silence of discipline. They called him the Crimson Strategist because his strength wasn't born from muscle. It was born from mastery. Mastery over himself, over his fear, over his doubts, over every storm that tried to break his focus. He learned that the loudest victories are often fought in silence. When the world sleeps and the mind wages its wars alone, he believed that the enemy was never outside. The real enemy was the voice inside whispering that he wasn't enough. And he made it his mission to silence that voice through relentless discipline. Through the slow and painful art of consistency, he rose before the sun, not because someone ordered him to, but because he understood that the first victory of the day is won in the moment between comfort and purpose. He studied not weapons, but patterns, not commands, but human behavior, because he knew that every emotion, every hesitation, every fear had a pattern. And if you can understand it, you can command it. The strategist didn't chase motivation, he built systems, and those systems built him. While others waited for perfect conditions, he acted with imperfect courage, while others sought applause. He found satisfaction in silence. He realized that mastery doesn't shout. It whispers through action repeated until flawless. His training ground was not the battlefield. It was the mind. His greatest weapon wasn't the sword. It was self-control. He didn't react to life. He responded, he calculated, he adapted, he moved like time itself. Steady, unstoppable, precise. He knew that emotions are like storms. They can destroy or they can be harnessed. And through meditation, through stillness, through understanding his own chaos, he learned to turn them into energy. Every failure became a data point. Every setback a new strategy. He kept a journal of lessons learned. Not to remember the pain, but to measure the progress. And through those pages, he discovered the truth. Pain is a teacher disguised as punishment. Every scar, a reminder of lessons earned, not given. When the young soldiers around him broke under pressure, he remained calm. Not because he was fearless, but because he had faced his fear so many times it lost its power, he said once. Strength is not born from victory. It is forged in the fire of control. Anyone can fight when they feel powerful, but only the disciplined fight when they feel broken. He taught that greatness isn't found in moments of comfort. It's found in the moments you want to quit, but don't. He lived by patterns. Rise early, train the mind before the body, study before the world wakes, and reflect before it sleeps, day by day. This rhythm carved his mind into something unshakable, and people began to follow him, not because he demanded loyalty, but because he embodied it. He never shouted orders, he whispered truth, and the room would fall silent because in his voice there was something everyone desired. His eyes told stories of 1,000 unseen battles, not with enemies, but with his own weakness. His soldiers used to say that when you stood beside him, you felt braver, not because he gave courage, but because he reminded you it already lived inside you. When doubt came, he didn't suppress it. He studied it, broke it apart, and found the logic behind the fear. He turned anxiety into analysis, fear into focus, pain into planning. His strategy was simple. Control yourself and you control everything. He believed that life is a battlefield of emotions, and whoever controls their emotions wins the war. He taught that leadership begins with mastering the self, that no man can command others until he has conquered his own chaos. And as he grew older, people asked him the secret to his strength. He said quietly, "I have no secret. I simply stayed when others left." Crimson trained when others slept, believed. Others doubted. He smiled and added, "The world rewards consistency more than talent, because talent fades when pressure rises, but discipline sharpens under fire." One of his soldiers once asked, "Do you never get tired?" And this strategist replied, "Of course I do. But I learned that fatigue is not the signal to stop. It's the signal that transformation has begun." He said the body screams before the mind breaks, but the disciplined know that pain is not an ending. It's the beginning of mastery, and so he trained his emotions like soldiers. He gave them purpose. He gave them command. Anger became focus. Fear became alertness. Sadness became depth. Joy became gratitude. He didn't kill emotions. He led them. And through this mastery, he found a peace no victory could provide, because real power is calmness under chaos. The strategist would often walk alone through the ruins of old battlefields, not to mourn, but to remember the cost of distraction. He knew that one unfocused thought can destroy years of progress. So he built his mind like a fortress, brick by brick, habit by habit by habit. Each decision layered with awareness, each thought filtered through purpose, and that's why when storms came, he didn't collapse. He adapted. When noise surrounded him, he returned to silence, because silence was his command center, his clarity, his advantage, and in that silence, he planned his next move while others panicked. His philosophy spread beyond war, reaching thinkers, athletes, entrepreneurs, and dreamers because the rules were universal: discipline, reflection, focus, execution. He once said to a young man trembling before a great task, "Your mind will tell you it's impossible. That's its job. Your job is to prove it wrong. Do not argue with fear, outwork it. Do not chase motivation, create motion. Because motion builds momentum, and momentum builds strength." And the strategist continued, "Someday, the world will forget your name. Your medals will rust, your trophies will fade, but the habits you build will outlive you. Because the disciplined leave behind not memories but systems, systems that teach others how to endure." His legacy was not his victories, but his principles. He lived and died by them, and they became laws for generations to come. Master your morning, master your emotions, master your reactions, master your purpose, and the world will bend to your consistency. He believed that anyone can start strong, but only the wise finish strong, because the beginning is fueled by excitement, but the end is carried by discipline. He used to say, "The man who controls himself controls time, and the man who controls time controls destiny." When he spoke, people didn't just hear words, they felt conviction. His calmness was contagious, his silence louder than war drums, and in his final years, when the world around him grew noisy with ambition and ego, he simply smiled and said, "They chase noise, I chase precision. They want speed, I want direction. And that's why I will always arrive. Maybe not first, but always ready." His story became a mirror for anyone seeking mastery. A reminder that the war we fight isn't with others, but with the chaos within, and the only weapon that never misses is discipline. Because discipline is not punishment, it's liberation. It frees you from weakness, from hesitation, from the endless loop of fear and regret. And when the strategist finally laid down his armor, he left behind not orders but understanding that the world doesn't reward the loudest, it rewards the most consistent. That greatness isn't about being seen, it's about being prepared when the moment arrives. And if you ever find yourself lost, uncertain, or afraid, remember his creed, written in the last page of his journal. Silence your chaos, sharpen your focus, and move with purpose, for the mind that conquers itself conquers everything.